We'll look a little more at the operations window. I'd like to point out a few things as we go there. You'll notice now in this folder that I created, there's a new file that got created called engine data. RTC program uses a lot of INI files to keep track of different things. For example, the engine data INI file keeps track of the engines that the read command has uncovered. You'll see a lot of INI files pop up in this window as you use different parts of the RTC program. So we'll start the program up again, and I'm going to point out a little hint right away. Here's my little information window. If you press the hide button while that information window is on the screen, you will never see it again. So that will make the program a little less annoying to use. So we're still in engine 15. I'm going to connect up to the TIU, and I'm going to start it up. My startup sequence always blows the horn when the whole startup is done. There it goes. Alright, so in this video we'll talk about the pop-up menu. If I point to a blank area of the operations window and I right click, I can do a few things pre-programmed. Automatically setting the speed to some value, stopping in some amount of time, playing the train wreck sound. I have a indication here whether the engine is a PS2 or PS3 engine, and feature reset at the bottom. The most interesting are these three in the middle: engine information, engine status, and track signal. We'll show you what those do. I'll click on engine information. The engine information screen, let me move it over here, reads up and shows you the odometer, the trip odometer, the track voltage, and the chronometer. Repeats it every number of seconds that you select, and you can selectively update each of those items. So I'll press the start button. Notice the LED turns green. So now we see the engine's odometer, its trip odometer, the track voltage as it reads it, and the chronometer. These values don't exactly match what shows up in the remote, and I don't exactly know why, but they're pretty close. You'll notice every 10 seconds it updates. So if we go back to the operations window, bring up the pop-up, click on engine status. Engine status, similar kind of screen. It repeatedly displays the engine speed. This is basically the requested engine speed. Shows you the instantaneous speed, so as you are accelerating or decelerating automatically to the engine speed, it shows you the value. Repeats here the trip odometer and shows you the engine status of different lights and switches as far as what is set inside the engine. Again, with the update checkboxes, you can selectively update those. They update every number of seconds that you request. So I'll press the start button. So of course I have the engine stopped, so the engine speed shows 0. The trip odometer shows effectively the same as what's in the other window, with just the fact that the engine's not moving. Once the engine starts moving, since these two windows are interleaving their 10-second accesses, the trip odometer might be a little bit different between the two windows. So let's just start the engine up, get it moving. As it starts moving, when our 10-second time comes up, you should see the engine speed value right here change. There it goes, and it shows 7. I'm going to flip into reverse. I'm going to reduce the updates to say every 3 seconds. I'm going to turn off the engine information updates so we just watch the engine status screen. I'll request a speed of 30. You should be able to see the engine speed go to 30, and the instantaneous speed will slowly work its way up to 30. And then I'll press stop and the reverse should happen. Back down to 0. So I'm going to stop that. I'm going to hide these two windows. I'm going to go back to the operations window and click on track signal, which is the FTS command from the remote, which sends packets of information to the engine from the TIU and reports back on how many are successfully received. The number that you see on the remote, 0 through 10, not real meaningful as far as I was concerned. I have my track signal program actually tell you how many packets out of 100 were actually received. Update every 1 second. You can pick the value that you want to use. The remote uses an update period of every second. I'll press start. So the engine makes its funny little clicking noises as this goes on, and I guess I'm in a particularly good spot on my layout right now where I'm receiving 100 out of 100 packets correctly. I'll get the engine started in forward a little bit and turn the track signal back on. We're running at about 17 scale miles per hour. So now you can see that we start to lose a few packets here. We're still in the mid-90s on average. We'll stop that and stop the engine. Shut down, disconnect, and exit.